More thoughts and more insights coming your way from this event, which has been organized by Mumbai First, as we look at the possibilities for Mumbai turning into a world-class mega city. Well, our next guest is Ms. Valsa Nair Singh, and she's the additional Metropolitan Commissioner of MMRDA, and she's handling what seems to be a very high-profile portfolio right now, because she's looking at the transport vertical and the metro trains and how Mumbai will get hopefully a world-class metro system. Thanks for taking out the time, ma'am. So let's get straight to the point. The citizens really want to know how soon Metro 1, 2 and then subsequently 3, how the phases will go active. What are the plans right now?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a very much anticipated beginning which we are waiting for the metro. We actually have planned 9 corridors of metro for Mumbai, and line 1, which is the first corridor, hopefully should be on the rails in January 2014.
Okay. Now, have there been any significant lessons that the authorities have also taken? Because it's been a while, the process has been underway for I think 6-7 years, some delays, issues on regulatory clearances. So as we look at line 2, line 3, how will the process be different, if at all?
Yeah, line 1 was the first project in the country in which we have undertaken a metro project under the public-private partnership. So this is the first PPP project in India on that. In fact, when the concession agreement was made, we did not even have a model concession agreement. So this was probably the foundation work has been started with us. And it's been a learning process over the years for us. And Mumbai being such a congested city, it has its own share of problems. We had a lot of initial problems. One was creating the right of way for the line. It involves rehabilitation, project affected persons, finding transit accommodation, and even more than the bigger issue was shifting of utilities. So I think the kind of issues Mumbai face is very, very special to Mumbai, and these issues did cause a delay, but I think in the case of line 2, line 3 and the others, we would be able to stick to the project schedule.
Okay, so for line 2 and line 3, what are the kind of realistic timelines that you're working with right now?
Line 2, we haven't started it. I mean, we did have a concession agreement again as a PPP, but there were some issues regarding some clearances for the car shed, and now the government is seriously thinking of looking to making it an underground metro, so that half the issues which an overground metro in a thickly populated city like Mumbai could face. And line 3 is a fully underground metro. It's a 32-kilometer line from Colaba to Seeps, and it is the only metro in the country which is fully underground.
Sure, but what would be the feasibility of this project? Again, given, as you said, the density of population in Mumbai and the fact that you have to build within the existing, populated areas. It's not a blue sky, territory, so to speak.
No, I think we have done a lot of traffic studies. We have the projected ridership, and I think any metro in Mumbai, in the sectors which we are talking about, is from day one going to be a winner. It's going to be win-win for the operator as well as for the commuter, because you're going to get a totally eco-friendly way of traveling. You're going to reach place A to B in probably the shortest time ever, and it's a world-class commute.
Well, today in the conference, of course, we also had a chance to listen to the gentleman who's come all the way from London, Mr. Brown, who's heading the London Underground, very well famous. So any sort of parallels or any kind of lessons or some thoughts that the Mumbai Metro would want to adopt from some of these international services?
Yeah, we are actually looking at the best practices of all the metros across the world. We have had a look at London Metro, and we also have teams who visit the Tokyo, Singapore, Hong Kong. We are trying to do the best out of each of them, so that in our planning process we really don't fall behind.
But one wonders also, because Mumbaikas have had a grueling time all this while commuting.
I agree.
Whether line 1 itself will really start decongesting the city, or whether there's a more holistic approach that's perhaps required. What is the thought process now within the MMRDA for overall decongestion of transport?
We have actually made something called the Comprehensive Transport Survey. This was made in 2009 with projections up to 2030. And all the metro lines are a part of this comprehensive survey. This survey gives you a roadmap on the planning process in transportation, not only for the metros, also for the road networks, the multimodal corridors. So each line of metro which we are taking is part of this CTS. It's the holistic network which we are looking at.
Well, when we've spoken to the private parties who might be interested in bidding at some stage, or people who've been involved with the project, one usual sort of grouse that really comes up is that regulatory clearances are usually a problem. It takes a lot of delay, different agencies, etc. Is there some way of circumventing that or overcoming that?
I don't think for a metro there would not be an issue, because metro is under the Metro Act, under which most of the clearances are exempt. It does not have to go in for environment clearance, but the sea hazard clearance is something which it has to take. But I think that it's the law of the parliament. One needs to go abide by that, whether it's a metro or a non-metro.
Right. Now, just moving away to the other issue that of course you've been very closely associated with, which is energy management. What are the sort of lessons that Mumbai can really learn, and where does Mumbai stand in terms of the rightful use and optimal use of energy?
In fact, in the conference we saw the experiences of best practices of Helsinki, Dunkirk and New York also. But I think Mumbai has taken a lot of strides forward in energy management. We have a demand side management unit set up in the Maharashtra Electricity Development Corporation. The state government is just about to approve the green building guidelines for the state, which makes following of green guidelines mandatory for a government construction. We also have conversion into LED. We have energy auditing happening in buildings. We also have retrofitting of energy audit in old buildings. I think we are on the right track in energy management.
So overall, as we look at things from the MMRDA point of view, as we get into 2014, what would be the critical thrust areas or the key focus areas for the authority in the new year?
Yeah, what MMRDA would do, or rather what we are planning to do, is use the tools of urban planning to such a way that it aids you in all this. Rather than having a single track energy efficient management system, we need to use urban planning, which I think is a very important tool, which as MMRDA, as the regional planning authority, has it. So we are now finalizing the regional plan for MMR in 2014. So I would use my good officers to ensure that we use this tool also to ensure the other social factors also.
Can the city also hope perhaps on better execution, because again that ends up being the issue, that plans might be put in place, we might get best practices, the best technical know-how from overseas, but ultimately it all boils down to timely execution and dispute resolution within different civic agencies. So is there any light at the end of the tunnel over there?
I think project execution is something which we really need to have a look at it, because most of the projects are always into time overruns. Maybe reasons within the organizations or coordination with other organizations. Like most of the projects which we have here, we need to have railway permissions, railway clearances, which is a little difficult. I mean, it's not within the state government ambit to do that. But the coordination issues within the different agencies in the state government, like the BMC, MMRD, are now the coordination. There's absolutely no issues in coordination. I mean, all these issues have totally been resolved. And I think project execution is something which we really need to get going.
Okay, well, we hope that it all works out and 2014 is off to a good start. Thank you so much. And of course, the city looks forward to the Metro Line 1 in January, as you said.
Me too. Thank you.
Thank you.